welcome to another edition of Hockey Talk. I'm your Commissioner, Jonathan Smith, here bringing you another edition of the playoffs predictions. We got down to the conference finals in this season, and it's kind of chalk. Both 1 and 2 seeds made it in each conference, Montreal and Washington being in the East, and Dallas and Columbus being in the West. All the 4 teams remaining are the top 4 scoring teams in the playoffs, 1 through 4. And it's the same defensively, except the Buffalo Sabres are the second best defensive team, and the Stars are 5th. So that's the only difference there. Montreal is actually the #1 team in goals against and goals for, so Washington's going to have their work cut out for them if they're going to want to get past the powerful Canadiens. Out of the 4 remaining teams left, though, the Washington Capitals are the best team on home ice, being 5-1, while Montreal is only 4-2 in these playoffs. Washington's going to need at least 1 win on the road in this series to get past the Canadiens. We'll see if they can do that. I think they can, but you never know. Montreal has a very good team, and this year they're looking like a team to beat instead of the team that normally struggles. Both of these teams are seeing their first, well, Washington is seeing their first conference final appearance ever, while Montreal is its second, even though it hasn't been since season 1, I believe, or 2. So Montreal, this is like a new experience for them too. We'll see which team has the more fortitude to go forward in this series. Montreal is the most physical team left in the playoffs. The Capitals did get through that last season with their series, with the Rangers being the second most physical, but that beating could have took a pound on the soft Capitals. I don't know if they struggled with the Rangers, and obviously Montreal is a much better scoring offensive team than the Rangers, but the physical element did bring a kind of a question mark to the Capitals game, and we'll see if that will have any effects in this round. Washington, though, is the least penalized team in the playoffs, while Montreal last series really did a lot to show that they could be undisciplined. Them and Buffalo both went after each other pretty hard. It was a pretty violent, vicious series. So we'll see if the Capitals can take advantage if Montreal continues to be undisciplined and go after the Caps. I think Montreal might have a little too much, though, for the Capitals this year, even though Washington gave it a good run. I see Montreal being the team that advances in this round. I'll give you my games predictions in a minute. The series was tied at 1-1, each team winning on home ice. So there's really no dramatic shift there, and there was no really dramatic thing in the stats that caught my eye between these two teams. But my prediction is Montreal will win in 6 games in this series. We'll see if the Caps can do anything to surprise, but I think the Canadiens have the powerful team this year, and they're going to get to the Copus Cup Finals for the first time in their history. Moving on to the Western Conference, we got the Dallas Stars and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Stars have been dismal at home, 3-4 on home ice, while Columbus is a little better at 4-3. Columbus, though, has been a lot better since the first 2 games they opened up at home, going 0-2 to the Coyotes. They have won 4 or 5. So if recent trends are better for the Blue Jackets, they need to win all their games on home ice, and they look to have a good chance of taking 1 from the Stars on the road, and I actually see them doing that. In the regular season, the Stars were 2-0 against the Blue Jackets, which is a surprise, but you don't know what the situations were at the time. And the Stars didn't give up a power play goal to the Blue Jackets in those 2 games. And their penalty killing has been very good throughout the playoffs, killing like 90% against the Blues and I think 86% against their first-round opponent, the Flames. So Columbus is going to have to try to find a way to generate some offense on the power play to be successful, and the Stars have been doing a great job of shutting that down, even though Stars 5-on-5 have not done a great job letting some teams take advantage of them 5-on-5, which the Stars obviously need to improve if they want to get to the Copus Cup Finals. The Blue Jackets are physical. We know this. They pounded it out, and I think that's going to give them a little bit more of an advantage. Them and Colorado are the 2 most physical teams really all year in the West, and they played each other last round, and we saw which team was the better physical team out of the 2. The Blue Jackets got through the Avalanche, and I think they're going to get through the Stars, just taking a physical presence and beating down the Stars. But yay, you never know. The Stars have proven me wrong before, proven everybody in the league wrong. And they won the West back-to-back in the regular season. We'll see if they can win the Western Conference championship this year and get the Cup Finals, though I don't see that happening. My prediction for the Western Conference Final is going to be Columbus is going to win in 6 games, too. So I got Montreal in 6 and Columbus in 6. I think the Blue Jackets are just a little too much to handle for the Stars. So your final is going to be between the number 1 seed Montreal and the number 2 seed in the West, Columbus Blue Jackets. It'll be a good final. This round is going to be great. It can go either way. Both the other teams that I didn't pick could obviously win because they're both very solid, great put-together teams. So we'll keep a fine eye on this over the next week, and I'll be back with you in a week from now. So until then, good night.